7:33 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Mendoza. Here. Councilmember Tucker.
Here.
Councilmember Alisa Martinez. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Alvarado.
Here.
And Mayor Burke.
Here. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Self, would you lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely. Ready, begin.
I allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Marita, do we have any
Adjustments to tonight's agenda?
Changes.
111.
111087.
Ms. Turner, do we have any reportable action taken in closed session?
Yes, we did. Today, the council met in closed session and discussed 3 items of anticipated litigation. Direction was given to council. The council also discussed public employee performance evaluation of the city manager. And that concludes my report.
Moving on to item C, public appearances. C1, matters not appearing on the agenda. If you wish to address the council concerning any item within the council's jurisdiction, please raise your hand and be acknowledged by the mayor. At that time, state your name and address for the record. The mayor reserves the right to place a time limit on each person's presentation of 3 minutes. It is requested that longer presentations be submitted to the council in writing. Do we have any public comments? Sir, can you please step up to the podium?
Yeah, my name is William Andrew Grisette, and I live in Imperial. And I want to thank you very much for letting me talk with you. I'm having difficulty with David Ramirez. He is the code enforcer, and I have these big chloroplast signs on my car, about the Lord, And in fact, I got the wrong vehicle, but I have one, if you'd like to see it. It says Jesus Christ in huge letters. He is the complete, perfect solution to all the world's problems. And I've been a missionary almost 52 years now. And I am firm in believing that, that Jesus is the solution to all our problems. And he wants me to take this down, okay? And so when I'm coming to you, he gave me a warning, $250 warning. But, as it goes, if I don't take it down naturally, it's going to be, he says it's double, 500, then 1,000, 2,000, whatever. And they have that system, where they really suck it to you when they want to. But I'm asking you, please, if you would let him, forget, because, I just don't, I don't want to take down my signs, you know what I mean? Because they're so vitally important to the entire world. And when people see them, little kids, everybody, it shocks them, and I want them to give them an opportunity to be able to see the other side of the story instead of just simply, live as we live, do what we can, you know what I mean? But there is a solution. So I want to thank you very much. If you talk to David Ramirez, I appreciate it very much. Do you have any questions?
So, I want to say I appreciate your message, but I just would like, are your signs within our code ordinance?
Well, that's what he said. It's according to his code, they're not, they're made up of chloroplast. I'll show you. Chloroplast like this, this is just, I forgot to bring the one I wanted to bring, but this is and they're real thick, and I can put them up and take them down whenever I feel like it. And that one I like to keep up all the time, but it's just so really powerful, you know what I mean? If I take it and put vinyl on the windows and stuff like that, it really gets away from the power of the message, you know what I mean? So I'd appreciate it if I could, get past this code.
I believe we have your contact information, and so my office will be contacting you. Kind of the short version of the situation is that the council some time ago adopted an ordinance to address what it calls a mobile signage. And that ordinance isn't directed at your message. It's directed at the manner in which you're communicating the message. And the ordinance addresses exactly that sort of thing. And so the council, previous council, made a decision as to how it would treat those ordinances. I'm happy to talk to you about it, provide you a copy of it if you don't already have a copy of it. And so you can hopefully adjust the way you communicate your message in a way that's consistent with the ordinance. What you're asking the council to do, it really doesn't have the ability to do. It adopted an ordinance that has standards in it. And what you're asking them to do is to ignore their own ordinance. And as a city manager, that I would not recommend that it do that, because then it calls into question all the ordinances in terms of that folks don't like in terms of its enforcement.
You're the city manager?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just asking. That's all I can do,
Okay. Okay.
because I think it's vitally important to the sanity of the world. Because we have to get back to the basics. And the basics is the solution. We have problems. There's going to be, according to the Bible, the prophecies of the Bible, there's going to be massive wars, starvation like we've never explained before. There's going to be massive, what do they call it, hatred. And this is in the book of Revelation, which I've read many, many times all the way through, and I share with people. The thing with this is, right now we don't feel the pinch, okay? But when it happens, you see, and the message that I have on my van is so vital, because people, they can come, wait, there's only one way to do it. We got to get back to God.
Just one brief note. I'm Katie Turner, over here, the city attorney. One of the important things by law, especially in California, is that we don't judge or evaluate it based on the message.
Right.
So we have to make sure that we do work with you to explain the avenue that someone can describe, that you can work within our ordinance, I think, to be able to express whatever message you'd like to, but we can't evaluate it or exchange it based on what's in the message.
Oh, just
But
turn
we'll
your
work with
eyes. Turn your eyes, and I'll be able to drive down my. But he says,
I understand.
David Ramirez says that I can drive my car all around. I just can't park it. I can't park it in the city limits of. I can't go to the shop. I can't do anything like that. But I can drive it all around.
Yeah, I will tell you that in drafting it, there are some other ways, there's vehicle wraps, things like that. So if you can meet with us or get a copy of the ordinance, we'll work.
Okay, well, I'll get back with the
Yeah,
city manager.
That'd be great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comments for tonight? Please step up to the podium. Hello.
Good evening, council members, Madam Mayor, and the members of the audience. My name is Vanessa Taylor. I'm with the Office of Assemblymember Garcia. First and foremost, I'd like to express my gratitude to the City of Imperial for their unwavering support in advocating for AB 918. Thank you for standing by us throughout this legislative journey. Today, I am delighted to provide you with a brief update on AB 918, the Imperial Valley Healthcare District, and related bills that Assemblymember Garcia has been actively working on. AB 918 has achieved remarkable strides in the legislative process. It has cleared the local government committee, appropriations committee, and received an overwhelming support on the assembly floor. Currently, the bill has advanced to the Senate, where it will undergo further amendments. As AB 918 continues through the legislative process, it will undergo amendments to further refine and strengthen its provisions. One notable amendment involves adjusting the initial requirements of a LAFCO application. This adjustment ensures a comprehensive and well-informed decision-making process. The bill empowers a 7-member interim board, guided by LAFCO, to conduct public hearings to gather valuable input from the community. El Centro Regional has committed to collaborating in the necessary fiscal analysis, allowing discussions on the potential financial outlook, countywide fee assessments, and contributions from Brawley and Calexico residents. The integration of El Centro and the hospital into the new healthcare district is crucial for a unified and cohesive healthcare system. Assemblymember Garcia has been actively involved in addressing healthcare challenges through various bills. SB 112 establishes the Distressed Hospital Loan Program, providing interest-free loans to financial distressed hospitals. AB 1131 creates the hospital's first revolving fund, offering grants and loans to hospitals in underserved communities. AB 412 establishes the Distressed Hospital Loan Program for hospitals in significant financial distress. And AB 869 extends the deadline for hospitals to meet their seismic safety standards and provides financial relief for the compliance. In addition, a request has been made for a one-time relief package of $1.5 billion to support California's hospitals in providing care to vulnerable communities. This package targets hospitals serving a greater number of Medi-Cal patients, addressing the structural underfunding of the Medi-Cal system. To conclude, I would like to echo our office is committed to addressing any questions or concerns you may have. I encourage you to schedule a meeting with our legislative team or attend our upcoming roundtable discussions coming up soon, dates to be announced. And we value very much the input and your engagement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for your update. We appreciate it. Do we have any other public comments for tonight? Madam Clerk, did we receive any public comments via email?
No.
With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda. All items appearing under consent agenda will be acted upon by the city council in one motion without discussion. Should any council member or other person request that any item be considered separately, the item will then be taken up at the time as determined by the mayor.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda withholding item warrant number 111087.
Do you have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Amparano and a second by Mendoza. Please vote.
Make a motion to approve warrant.
Oh,
number- Sorry.
Motion carries 5-0.
Sorry about that. Make a motion to approve warrant number 111087.
Do you have a second?
Go ahead, Ida.
I second that.
I have a motion by Amparano and a second by Tucker. Please vote.
Motion carries 4-0 with one abstain by Mayor Burnworth.
Moving on to item E, work session, discussion direction only. For E1, goal setting and budget performance review for fiscal year 2023 to 24 with Ms. Brown.
Yes, Madam Mayor, members of the council, so we continue our goals and objectives for fiscal year 23-24. We have reached the part for the priority project ballot. I would like to thank the council for providing their priority projects to staff. It gives management that clear direction as to what we need to organize work plans for, align the baseline operations budget, and bring forward how we can look to accomplish that. But before we get to that portion, we do ask for the city council to rank the priority projects on a scoring system of 1 to 5. one being little to not a significant priority. Obviously, I would like to say that all of these are a priority. However, meaning if you look at it from funding capabilities to what needs to be, what you would like to see funded this fiscal year, or a portion, a tangible result within this fiscal year, closer to that 5 being a high priority, we would ask for that ranking. So as you go through these, we ask for you to have that in mind as you put it through. If you want additional comments, or you want more of a clarifying statement as part of the proposed project, or why maybe you chose that number, whatever you would like to offer, if you would do that. Simultaneously, we will be launching this same priority matrix for the public to review as well, and provide that additional data and feedback. That will go live in the morning. There's some adjustments that were made later on this afternoon, so we want to make sure that that's reflected prior to going live to the public. And we encourage anyone watching to participate in that. It will be available on our website. We'll push it out through social media and our mobile app as well. And I will stand for any questions that you may have on what's in front of you.
I will apologize. Let me right now, I'll get it to you as soon as I can.
So as we just ask at least by a week from today, if you can get us that. We want to make sure that we actively push out, give staff some time to look at it as well. It's a great baseline to start considering how we put those work plans together, and then see how it all shakes out.
Are these proposed new services and projects, or is it carrying on the standard? Because I see the street sweeping. I thought we already had street sweeping. I know that we don't necessarily get the street.
Not within our, it's not within the Allied, or Public Services contract. Oh,
So we
Something better. Something that actually sweeps the streets.
why don't we actually hold our contractors accountable?
that would be understanding project. And so it's taking that perspective and coming to the council with how we can do that, or some other options that for you to consider.
Looking far ahead, but by trying to bring that in-house, what would well, I'm sure you guys don't have the numbers, but there would obviously be, by us bringing it in-house and doing it ourselves, there to be an adjustment to the contract that's supposed to be providing that services. And I guess at some point we'd like to find out what's the difference, how much is it actually the net cost to us after you deduct that service from the contract that is supposed to be providing the service.
Absolutely.
We had
that-
it early on, and then we got rid of it, put it into a contract with Public Services. Got rid of ours because ours wasn't compliant, and so that's why we did that. But in the beginning, it was good. Now it's might as well not sweep.
And why don't we hold our contractors accountable? I mean,
Yeah,
bringing it
that too.
in-house, you
We
have,
can do that too.
I mean,
I mean,
I would hate to see air pollution giving the city staff
absolutely.
tickets. They will come, even
Yeah.
with the dusters.
How do we hold our feet to the fire?
We can present, we'll take a look and meet and get, I'll put together a report for you, on different avenues by the next meeting.
I would just say, Mayor Pro Tem Amparano, that there is a legal recourse. Efforts to date has involved meetings and conversation and video and all of that sort of thing. But the fact that we're having this conversation would suggest how successful that has been or not. We'll look at all avenues, and in the meantime, we'll continue our efforts to achieve compliance to the contract.
I would just say, Councilman Mendoza, that is an excellent, as you work through this, and any comments or questions that might come up as you rank, that we would ask that you provide that feedback, so we can have maybe just provide more clarification or additional information in those work plans, so we can make sure that we're meeting what your goals in these projects are.
you have any other questions or from the council? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item F.
Madam Mayor,
Oh.
if I may, I'm gonna go recuse myself from this item, so I will be stepping down.
Thank you. And with that, I'm gonna open the public hearing for this at 7:53 p.m. For F1, public hearing of the city council discuss financing for the luxury apartments at 12th Street and 15th Street for affordable housing project.
Good evening, council. We asked the council to continue the meeting to June 12 at 5:30 p.m. and which will give a complete report on this item.
I make that motion.
June 12th.
June 12 at 5:30 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a
That's
second?
next Wednesday.
I'll second. Wait, Monday, the June 12th?
Yes.
Ah, okay, yes, a second. Get my dates straight.
It'll all work out.
I have a motion by Tucker and a second by Obeso Martinez. Please vote. Once you hit abstain. Oh. Do you have to hit abstain for it?
Motion carries 4-0 with one abstain from Councilmember Mendoza.
That I will continue this public hearing and move on to item G, action items. G1, resolution adopting project list for fiscal year 2023 to 24, funded by SB1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017, with Mr. Mora.
Good evening, council. As some of you already know, on April 28, 2017, the governor signed Senate Bill 1, which is known as the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017, to address basic road maintenance. SB 1 increases fuel and diesel taxes and vehicle registration fees. The city receives a percentage of that, in which for this fiscal year of 2023, 2025, 24, we will receive an approximate amount of $531,806. As part of the project and resolution before you, we have to list the projects in which we're going to be utilizing these monies. There's three projects. The project one is the Laboratory Road Widening project. The project number 2 is for 7th Street. And the project number 3 is for the Ayton Boulevard pedestrian and storm drain improvements between Access Way and all SR 86. Staff recommends approval of resolution, and I'll stand for any questions that you may have.
Questions by the council?
I have a question.
Yes.
So project 1, we've already paid off that.
Haven't paid it off. We're gonna closing the project. Our next meeting, which gives still utilize some of the monies.
Okay, so our RMRA fund that we have right now, the 531,000, part of that's gonna go to pay that. It's already allocated for it.
It might not, but we have to list the project just in case we need the additional monies, and we don't have to touch our local funding.
Okay.
So it's better to at least that now, because going back, it will be very difficult to include it.
Do we have an alternative project if that one's already?
So we want to utilize the monies on 7th Street.
Okay.
The 7th Street, we have LPP through ICTC, which is just one block. So we want to be able to utilize it all the way to at least 2 blocks with SB1 monies,
We're gonna
and the
go-
rest.
yeah.
Yes, and the rest is going to go to Ayton Boulevard. I don't think we're going to have anything left after that, but fingers crossed.
No, I'm saying if we don't use the money for project 1, do we have something to take its place?
Oh, no, we don't right now. So we can put most of the money into 7th Street, in the one on Ayton, and on the next round, no, I'm sorry, no. We don't have any other project. I think we're gonna have to put all of our monies into 7th Street and Ayton Boulevard, correct? Yes, I'm sorry.
So basically, the cost of these 3 projects exceeds that 531.
Correct.
Okay.
it's just a comment. I'm so excited about Seventh Street. I mean, like, just so excited. I think a lot of our residents are too, but, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit of time, but with the help of ICTC and now SB1, we're gonna be able to do a lot more.
Finally getting some.
Yes.
You're welcome. I still drive a diesel. I don't drive a Prius.
So with that, do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Amparano and a second by Councilmember Mendoza. Please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Moving on to item G2, Mayfield subdivision, Unit 3C reconveyance, lots 311, 270 to 380, 364 to 369, and 384 to 390 per FM 27-86-89 with Mr. Morrow.
Good evening, council. City staff conducted a field inspection of the offsite improvements on Mayfield subdivision, Unit 3C. And at this time, the improvements have been completed for the lots on your Exhibit A. And staff recommends authorization of the partial reconveyance, and I'll stand for any questions that you may have.
Questions from the
Motion, I'll make that motion.
I have a second. I have a motion by Tucker and a second by Obeso Martinez. Please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Moving on to item GC, Monterey Park Unit 4C final map with Mr. Morrow.
Good evening, council. Staff completed its review of the final map for Monterey Park Unit 4C and finds all items acceptable. The approved cost estimate of the required offsite improvements for Unit 4C is $1,621,236.13, which is included in the subdivision agreement. Security for the offsite improvements will be in the form of a first lien position in specified real estate property, and is similar to those approved in other subdivisions. There is sufficient value in the property involved to secure the required amount. And staff recommends the approved final map and authorize city clerk to record final maps, and I'll step for any questions that you may have.
Questions or a motion?
Motion.
A motion by Amparano and a second by Mendoza. Please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to H reports. Item H1, department reports. Do we have any department reports tonight or updates? Awesome. Seeing none, we'll move on to city manager report.
Madam Mayor, I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Move on to item HC with mayor and council member reports. Do we have any council member reports today? Do we need to do any starting two motions?
Motion's good. Okay. Oh, no, I'm good.
I think the only thing to report since the last time we met, have the cal on that, but I just want as our mayor was absent, I put on the spot. That was interesting. But thank you for all your hard work, and I'll let you go with that. And the only other item I'd like to add is I don't think we have seen Mr. Morris since the birth of his little girl, and I just wanted to say congratulations. She's beautiful, and I hope you enjoy her.
Our newest member of Team Imperial.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you. That was a good event. We were trying to figure out someplace different to have it, and how do we get Imperial to host a League of Cities event? You know, I thought hard and figured, you know what, we can have it at the fairgrounds. Fairgrounds has more to the offer than just Ferris wheels, animals. There's places, so it turned out very well. So thank you guys very much that attended. Secondly, I'd like to hats off to Tony and his team. They had and I always get this wrong, night at the park. In the park after dark. I was close. I had park, and it was at night.
Them died.
Yeah, that was a great event. A great event. Watching the luchas, the music. At one point, I thought it was actual DJ, but no, it was live music. It was great. The turnout was phenomenal. The weather really helped us out on that. So whoever had part in that, good job. With our public works, I see our guys out there cleaning our ditch, cleaning our city. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. I know the wind hasn't been nice to us, and so we all drive it, and we really appreciate it. And everybody else, the hard work, our police, fire, our HR, our IT, community development, everybody, you guys do a great job. And I did give Dennis a list of stuff that from the manager's memo that we kind of need to look at. So appreciate you guys' hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. And I have a couple things to report. We attended, the city manager and the assistant city manager and myself, we attended the International Council for Shopping Centers convention or conference, and that was in Vegas, and that was a huge crash course for learning. So we're trying to get different developers, different franchises, other opportunities to come in for the economic development within the city of Imperial. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to all my favorite Imperial High School graduates that are graduating tomorrow, specifically my niece Hannah, the city clerk's son Aiden Shields, and then Haley and Justin and Addison Holbrook. So thank you. And with that, our city, wait, did she want to?
That's what she was gonna.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes. So with that, I'll adjourn the regular city council meeting at 8:05 p.m. and adjourn this regular meeting of the city council until next regularly scheduled meeting, Wednesday, June 21st, 2023 at 7 p.m.